You're the creep.
Yeah.
A teacher snatches the bully's ass up. Yeah. Come sit with me. That's what I know. Someone's bullying. Oh, you can sit with me for a while. And then I would lean on him. I'd bully him back. He's not a teacher. He's not a politician. He's a creepy guy who can't remember his speeches. I don't know what the hell was in the water in that White House, or was everyone on the same bad pain? But Kamala can't speak. He can't speak. Biden was so high he couldn't remember anything. Like, this is literally the dumbest administration of all time. Why is he talking?
It really is the ultimate clown show. And I said this, he's a clown without a circus.
Have you ever watched a boxing referee step in because one fighter looked completely overwhelmed? That's the comparison many viewers made after watching Tyrus sharply criticize Tim Walz. From the opening moments, the exchange appeared increasingly one-sided to some audiences. As the discussion continued, Walz seemed to struggle to regain momentum while Tyrus confidently pressed his arguments. Whether viewers agreed with him or not, many described the encounter as feeling less like a political discussion and more like a heavyweight contest where one participant appeared better prepared for the exchange.
A wannabe dictator? It's because he is. It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully.
Is there something going on that we're missing?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, whose balls is he hiding in his cheeks? That's the first question I want to know. And I don't love the way he says, fierce.
Yeah.
Tim Walz has built much of his public image around projecting confidence and steady leadership. Critics, however, argue that he sometimes appears overly certain of his position before difficult questions are fully addressed. To them, it can resemble a politician stepping confidently to the podium, only to find that the conversation quickly becomes more challenging than expected. That perception has fueled much of the criticism surrounding his recent public appearances.
He doesn't even need makeup.
He's roaming the terrain. Is there some carnival that I could work for? I'll wash your windows.
He's a rogue clown.
Yes.
Who is just an inconsequential footnote to vice presidential history.
Yes.
No one will remember his name on trivia night, and that's going to be in 3 months from now.
Yes.
Like, he is such a limp. This is your weenus, by the way. That's your weenus.
Yeah, right here on the elbow.
That's it.
The elbow.
Do you think he's a plant?
Supporters of Tyrus argue that his style cuts through carefully prepared political messaging. Rather than simply criticizing Walz, he uses humor, analogies, and direct language to challenge what he sees as inconsistencies in the governor's record. To many viewers, the contrast between the two created the impression of a political heavyweight facing an opponent who wasn't fully prepared for the pace or intensity of the exchange.
Ad for Elon. I would be furious if I was him. If this is who you sent to troll me?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong to get the guy from D Team to come out at Family Theater and call me names?
Yeah.
Like, Tim, I would, if they were like, oh, Tyrus, man, tough news cycle. Tim Walz is talking about you. I'd be like, old Timmy, I want to fight him so bad.
Throughout the discussion, Walz continued presenting his talking points while Tyrus repeatedly interrupted that rhythm with pointed criticism and sarcastic observations. Supporters of Tyrus viewed those moments as effective challenges to the governor's messaging, while others saw them as aggressive political commentary. Either way, the dynamic quickly shifted from a routine discussion into a far more confrontational exchange that captured viewers' attention.
Like Rachel Levine, look, he has a sports coat and a zip-up sweater underneath. No man wears that.
I may have done that in the past.
Yes.
I won't now, Tyrus.
No, and one day somebody's going to explain what a corporate income tax is to these people. It's not paid by this. It's not paid by the corporation. It's not like a building that goes, I've got to pay taxes. It's the workers.
Critics argue that Walz often appears most comfortable in environments where his policies receive broad support, making more confrontational interviews considerably more difficult. During this exchange, They felt he occasionally struggled to respond as quickly as Tyrus, who maintained an assertive pace throughout. Whether that perception is fair remains open to debate, but many viewers came away believing Tyrus consistently dictated the direction of the conversation, while Walz spent much of his time responding rather than leading.
Masculinity is deeply part of it. That's one of the, I think it goes, and you can look at the reasons why we've had this sort of dialectic over the Me Too movement.
How do you fight it?
This notion
I think
of
I could kick most of their.
What he's mad about is his own fault. He's mad about the image that was portrayed of him as the hunter. And who did that? You did that. We just laughed about it because the one thing you can't do is you can't front. You can't floss. Those are two key words when it comes to manhood. You can't pretend to be something that...
Part of what made the exchange resonate with many viewers was that Tyrus relied heavily on criticism already circulating about Walz's leadership, rather than introducing entirely new arguments. He focused on issues such as public safety, government performance, and public confidence, using humor to reinforce his broader points. Supporters argued that his commentary reflected frustrations they already held, while defenders of Walz maintained that many of the criticisms lacked important context surrounding the governor's decisions.
It is true, though.
That's a big red flag. Whenever you meet someone and they have to give you their resume,
yes.
and then as soon as they talk, you're like, that's why you gave me your resume.
Yeah, because it doesn't speak for itself.
You suck.
Yeah. It's like when people have their PhD on their Twitter handle. It's like, this person's completely bonkers.
And their pronouns.
Yes. Are you mad, though, Tyrus, that, beards have been kind of co-opted by beta males like Tyler?
No, because
watch what you say.
It's like all... Wait, hold on. Watch what I say. I will around, stick my hand up your back, and make you my puppet for the rest of the show.
What distinguishes Tyrus's style is his willingness to speak in direct, conversational language rather than lengthy political explanations. Throughout the discussion, he repeatedly challenged Walz's responses, arguing that polished messaging cannot replace measurable results. As the conversation continued, many viewers felt Walz became increasingly defensive while Tyrus remained confident and composed. That contrast became one of the defining features of the exchange.
And there was Oliver Wendell Holmes, and you can. I don't believe you're a lawyer, Governor Walz. You can yell fire in a crowded theater, and you can say hateful things because this is the United States of America, and it's right there in Amendment number 1. It's one of a guy from the heartland goes to Yale. That's so dishonest. If you read his memoir or know anything about the guy, it's a miracle he wound up at Yale. He was a child of abuse. No dad, drug-addled mom, man after man in the house, including very abusive domestic violence things he witnessed.
For many observers, the discussion ultimately became less about personalities and more about accountability. Tyrus argued that political messaging should always be measured against real-world outcomes rather than carefully prepared speeches. Whether viewers agreed with that premise or not, the exchange highlighted how quickly public perception can shift when a politician faces sustained criticism in a highly visible setting. Once confidence begins to give way to scrutiny, every response tends to receive greater attention.
And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there? I got to tell you, pointing out just an observation of mine that I made. I just have to say it. You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy and, yes, just weird as hell.
Political reputations are often shaped by defining moments. Critics argue that this exchange became one of those moments for Tim Walz. They believe the discussion altered how some viewers evaluated his leadership and public communication. Supporters, meanwhile, viewed the criticism as largely political theater. Regardless of where people stood, the conversation generated significant attention because it centered less on prepared speeches and more on how each participant handled sustained public scrutiny.
Speak like they do. People are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about, and then he goes on to blame it on the school shootings. I guess he was upset about school shootings, so he lied. But stop saying you speak like we do. I speak like regular people. What kind of is that? No, you don't, sir. We don't lie about military service we didn't actually perform, like going to war. We don't steal valor by saying that we had a higher rank.
Tyrus repeatedly argued that Walz's public image did not fully align with his governing record, a criticism that resonated strongly with some viewers. Whether that assessment is accurate remains a matter of opinion, but the exchange demonstrated how quickly perceptions can change once credibility becomes the central topic of discussion. For critics, the conversation reinforced existing concerns. For supporters, it represented another example of highly partisan political commentary.
It's my DMs, like just one arm, and I just want to slap the. He's so weak. He brings nothing. If you're gonna go after someone, man to man, hit him with a fact. Hit him with something real.
Yes.
You don't have anything. And here's the cold part. If Elon called him up and said, "Hey, Tim, you want a job?" he would take it. Because that's what spineless, he would, and when he was questioned, he was like, "I was just holding him in account. You know, I respect him, and I'm so happy to be working for X." He is the worst player on their team, and they don't mind sending him out because
They're trying to get him off the table.
Yeah.
They're putting him out early so he can't be a factor later.
Many viewers compared the exchange to a performer whose audience has suddenly begun paying closer attention behind the scenes. Critics suggested that once people begin questioning a politician's messaging, every future appearance receives additional scrutiny. Supporters of Tyrus believed he gave voice to frustrations they already held, while supporters of Walz argued that complex policy debates cannot always be reduced to brief television exchanges. The differing reactions helped fuel even more discussion after the program ended.
Nominee Tim Walz, he joined Beto O'Rourke at a Texas town hall last night, and the estrogen levels were enough to give Chuck Norris menstrual cramps. I wonder, is our strength our diversity?
Our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, "You damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them."
So, wait, you lost because you weren't woke enough?
By the conclusion of the exchange, both participants had reinforced the public images they already carried. Tyrus remained direct, confident, and confrontational, while Tim Walz continued defending both his record and his leadership. For many viewers, the discussion became less about declaring a winner and more about broader questions of credibility, accountability, and political communication. Whatever conclusions audiences reached, the exchange demonstrated how a single televised confrontation can quickly become part of a much larger national conversation.